All right, so today's video was inspired by one of our partners, and they asked how we calculate the buy below price for the companies in our portfolio. So today I'm going to walk you through that. And what this buy below price is the price that you can pay today for a 10% return. And that's calculated out over about a 10-year time frame. And to get to this buy below price, it's based on our earnings growth model. So you need to know how that works first. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the earnings growth model. And what this model says is that our expected return per year over about that 10-year time frame is going to be equal to the earnings per share growth rate of the company. And this is going to be compound annual growth rate. So this is the growth rate that earnings grow each year over that 10-year time horizon. And this is per share, so it takes in any kind of buybacks or anything like that that affect it. And to that, we're going to add our dividend yield. This is the current dividend yield. So this is the amount you're going to get paid in dividends this year divided by the share price. And then we also need to take into account any change in the PE multiple. So let's walk through how we calculate this change in PE next. And the way that works is that we take our ending PE, we subtract the PE we start at, divide by that starting PE, and multiply by 0.1 because this is, again, over about that 10-year time frame. All right, so now we need to calculate the PE that we can pay and get a 10% return. And I like to use a spreadsheet for this. I'm actually using what's called LibreOffice just to demonstrate that you don't need to pay for anything to do this. It's a free version of Excel, and I've set this up very simply. So our expected return we know is 10%. We're going to need our earnings growth rate, our dividend yield. Exit PE, I've already chosen 25. We're going to use Coca-Cola for this. That's a pretty reasonable average PE over the past time. Our target PE change is going to calculate for us based on this 10% minus the earnings growth minus the dividend yield. This is going to tell us what we need that final piece of the earnings growth model to be equal to 10%. Our forward PE is what we're looking for, and the PE change, this is the formula I showed you on the notebook. So this is just written in this cell using these cell numbers to do this, and this will be important in a second. But first, let's fill these things in for Coca-Cola. So if we go to fiscal.ai for Coca-Cola, we can go down. We can see that our long-term growth estimate for earnings per share is 5.6, a 2.9% dividend yield. Let's fill those in. So 5.6%, 2.9%, and you can see our target PE, we need 1.5% PE expansion per year over that 10 years. So to figure out what this forward PE that will give us this number is, we're going to go to this PE change formula, tools. We're going to pick GoalSeek, and this is going to fill in that our formula cell is B7. That's correct. Our target value, we need 0.15, so as a percentage, and our variable cell is forward PE here, cell B6. We click OK. It does its magic. 21.7 is the PE we can pay today. Yes, I want to insert that in. And now to calculate a buy below price, all we need is a forward earnings per share estimate. And if we multiply that times our forward PE, that's going to give us a buy below price. So if we go back to fiscal, we can pick estimates. We can scroll down once I pick earnings per share and not revenue. And we can see $2.98 is the consensus. So if we go back to our spreadsheet, we put $2.98. We can pay $64.78 for Coca-Cola today to expect a 10% return into the future based on these assumptions right here.